Dig it.
Slow drag with remedy. Sometimes the writing process can seem so serious, sacred, and really devoid of joy, let alone levity or fun. Whenever I waver, whenever I feel bogged down by the big picture, I think of famed beat writer and poet Jack Kerouac. For him, it was jazz, bebop, and of course, Benzedrine that made him seem so happy about the writing process itself. All I have to do is think about a long roll of On the Road and a short, silly poem to remind me to stop taking myself so seriously. Just write and have fun, even if the topic is somber or less than cheerful. Sometimes all we need is a good distraction.
I'd rather be thin than famous. I don't want to be fat. And a woman throws me out of bed calling me Gordo. And every time I bend to pick up my suspenders from the Davenport floor, I explode loud, huge grunto and disgust everyone in the familio. I'd rather be thin than famous, but I'm fat. Paste that in your Broadway show.
My name is Remedy, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, poetry, and a bit of angst as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Chemistry Class from Armed Forces, released in 1979. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. Chemistry Class is a clever little piece that is less about rhyme and more about rhythm and wordplay. It reads like a study in how to distract yourself from obsessing over a new infatuation. It starts with a flirt and goes on to get tangential and clever for clever's sake. She throws back her hair as she shows you her mouth. The breath that I waste trying to ruin your life. Beauty's on a budget, but you take it on the chin, 'cause you have to do your duty, taking orders from the kingpin. The quote, breath that I waste trying to ruin your life, could be construed as the reaction to a rebuff. She wasn't that pretty anyway. Rejection as well as acceptance isn't something we tend to take lightly. So it starts with an objectively sensual moment, leads to realizations, observations, and a suspicion. The mention of kingpin suggests a transaction might be in the offing. You've got a chemistry class. I want a piece of your mind. You don't know what you started when you mixed it up with mine. Are you ready for the final solution? This provocative chorus flows through the piece 3 times, and what seems inflammatory at the end, I truly believe is simply a witty response, a play on words of chemistry and solution wrapped in a familiar, heated expression. Less of an outcome and more of a disinfectant to equalize an unrequited chemical reaction. The second line, perhaps, is more autobiographical than just a clever turn of phrase or a familiar rhyme with the first line. Mr. Costello's compliments and cutting remarks, if you will, are legendary. They chopped you up in butcher school, threw you out of the academy of garbage. You'll be a joker all your life, a student at the comedy college. People pleasing, people like you. You've been around so long, but you still don't know what to do. What great wordplay, chopped up in butcher school, thrown out of a garbage academy, and is a lifelong student, a lifelong joker at a comedy college. with just a couple of end rhymes, you and do. What this verse accomplishes is the charming execution of the distraction I mentioned. Clever wordplay is deployed in order to effectively expend the breath that, admittedly, is trying to ruin a life. Then, of course, the lilting sound of people pleasing people like you continues this emotional arithmetic. The distraction, the continued short, sharp jabs that precede the knockout punch. You've been around so long, but you still don't know what to do. Sparks are flying from electrical pylons, snakes and ladders running up and down her nylons. Ready to experiment, you're ready to be burned. If it wasn't for some accidents, then some would never ever learn. This places us back at the instant after she throws back her hair, a split second after impressive mental resistance. Sparks do indeed fly. We're also back to solid end rhymes, pylons, nylons, burned, learned. No more distractions. Time for action. In addition to evoking accidents will happen from this very album, this last line about how if it weren't for accidents, some would never ever learn, emphatically never ever. History is littered with great accidental inventions, yet somehow I think what is learned in this dynamite piece is that initial attraction might be less chemistry and more transactional. Dig it. Again, this has been a slow drag with chemistry class from 1979's Armed Forces. It's a clever piece with an intentionally provocative chorus that probably angered the uninitiated at the time. Truly, many didn't know what they were starting when they mixed it up with Elvis Costello. Over the years, he's cut people to ribbons without so much as clenching his teeth or breaking his stride. Thank you so much for finding this appreciation, this exploration of linguistics, poetry, and a bit of angst as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master Elvis Costello. Admittedly, this was a pretty quick slow drag today. They can't all be bundles of tangled allusion and metaphor for our amusement. Sometimes a little can still be so much. It can still be so entertaining. So please check the show notes for links to the actual song, as well as to references made in this episode. There's a companion blog with a transcript and other useful references for your convenience. A YouTube video of this episode will be up later this week. It's a visual guide to the poetry that I think you'll enjoy. Please follow Slow Drag Remedy on Twitter for updates, previews, and more links. And as always, thank you so much for listening all the way to the very end. I'd love to hear from you. Please get in contact with interpretations, comments, or suggestions. I'm so pleased that this little appreciation train is really starting to pick up speed. So please subscribe, give us a good rating and review on Apple Podcasts, and share with other language lovers. It means the world. Thank you. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo.
The show is called Slow